You know that kind of tiredness that doesn't go away, even after a good night's sleep? That feeling of always being on the edge, like something is constantly draining your strength, your joy, your clarity? Yeah. A lot of people think it's just stress, routine, lack of time. But let me share a truth no one talks about. What's holding you back isn't what's happening outside of you. It's how your energy is being used, or, better yet, wasted, on the inside. And here's the wild part, most people never learn to control this. They go decades without even realizing they have an energetic field that influences everything, from their mood to their health, from creativity to prosperity. But once you understand how this energy works and start using it to your advantage, everything changes. Life stops being a battle and becomes a creation. It's like finding a hidden control panel inside of you, and realizing you've always had the power, you just didn't know where to look. In this video, I'm going to show you the first steps to tap into this power. Not with mystical, unreachable talk, but with real, simple practices you'll feel in your body, on your skin, in your vibration. It only takes minutes. Breath, intention, focus. And from there, your consciousness begins to expand, naturally, powerfully, and best of all, inevitably. Because when your energy shifts, your reality shifts with it. And if you think this is too good to be true, great. That's a sign you're about to discover something no one's ever told you before. And when you do, you'll wonder why it took you so long to get here. He was sitting in silence when he first noticed it. His body felt more alive than ever before. It wasn't coffee, it wasn't anxiety, it was something different. It was like an invisible field was pulsating around him and within him. What many call vital energy started to make sense. The truth is, this energy had always been there, in the act of breathing, in the warmth of your hands, in the emotion that bursts when you hear a moving song. There's nothing too mystical about it, it's just that no one ever explained it simply. As Neville Goddard used to say, the invisible creates the visible. And this energy is the invisible glue of reality. Vital energy isn't some concept reserved for gurus in white robes. It's what keeps your heart beating right now, without you even thinking about it. It's what makes you feel that chill when something's off, or so right it feels divine. It's in your thoughts, your emotions, your habits, your health. Wilhelm Reich, the occultist and psychoanalyst, called it orgone, a subtle force that affects everything around you. The ancient Hindus spoke of prana, the Chinese of qi, but if you want to bring it to your world, think of that good feeling of walking barefoot on the grass. That's energy in motion. Have you noticed how negative people seem heavy? How certain environments drain your joy for no reason? That's vibration. And every vibration is energy in action. Happy people emit a different field, that's why you feel good being around them. This spiritual energy is constantly communicating with everything around you, as if your frequency were a radio station broadcasting. What you tune into, you receive. And here's the secret, you're not a passive sponge, you can learn to control this energy. And that control begins, believe it or not, with something you already do, breathe. Breathing is the most direct bridge between the visible world and the invisible. It's where matter meets vibration. When you breathe consciously and deeply, something shifts, both inside and outside. Your mind slows down, your emotions organize, and your energetic field begins to align. It's the first step in expanding your consciousness, realizing you can choose how you feel. And by choosing how you feel, you change the energy you emit. This isn't some pretty theory, it's applied soul science. It's the divine spark waking up. And when it wakes up, everything begins to change, including your reality. I realized this on my own spiritual journey when I went through a health crisis. No tests showed anything wrong, but I felt like something was off. It wasn't until I started practicing conscious breathing and truly feeling my body that things shifted. My mood improved, anxiety disappeared, and my energy came back like I had just recharged. The key wasn't outside of me, it was within. And that led me to a profound discovery: vital energy isn't just life, it's power. A power we all carry, but few access. Now, imagine what happens when you combine this energetic awareness with intention. When you know what you want, feel like it's already real, and radiate that out to the universe. It's like turning on a lighthouse in the middle of the dark, you become magnetic. Prosperity, abundance, relationships, everything starts to resonate with your frequency. Neville Goddard spoke about this when he said that imagination, felt as real, creates the facts. And all of this comes from the energy you carry, and direct. The good news? You can train it. And the training starts in a simple, almost childlike way. Yes, controlling your own energy doesn't require you to become a monk in the Himalayas. It just requires presence. A closer look at your body, more respect for your emotions, a deeper care for what you feel, and what you choose to feel. This has nothing to do with spiritual perfection, it's about awareness. And awareness is what turns energy into results. When you get this, evolution becomes inevitable. You begin accessing your higher self. And with it comes the next natural step of the journey, learning to control, practically, this energy you are now starting to perceive. Before talking about big spiritual leaps, let's start with something simple: grounding. And no, I'm not talking about sticking your feet in the dirt, though that helps too. I'm talking about feeling your body. That's why the first practice I recommend is the body scan. Lie down or sit comfortably. Close your eyes. And begin slowly bringing your attention from your head to your feet. Feel each part of your body as if you're exploring new territory. Where there's tension, breathe. Where there's numbness, acknowledge. This activates the dormant spiritual energy and connects you to the divine spark that lives inside you. It's interesting how, when doing this, many people discover pains or sensations they didn't even know were there. This happens because we spend most of the day disconnected from our bodies. We live on autopilot, always chasing the next task, the next distraction. But when we stop and scan ourselves, something shifts. It's as if we're telling our body, "Hey, I'm here. I hear you." And this, believe it or not, is the beginning of expanding consciousness. The energy, once chaotic, begins to reorganize. It starts to obey. It starts to flow. Now, add to this an even more powerful technique: conscious abdominal breathing. This isn't just any breathing. It's the deep kind, where your abdomen inflates like a balloon. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. And repeat. Do this for 3 to 5 minutes and observe, your body changes state. Anxiety gives way to balance. Your mind slows down. And your energetic vibration rises almost instantly. It's simple, but effective. And the more you practice, the more control you gain. More clarity. More presence. More power. This technique is what saved me during one of the most chaotic times in my life. I was on the verge of an emotional collapse. I felt like my energy was fragmented. Nothing was flowing. And it was only by breathing consciously, in the morning, afternoon, and before bed, that I found my center again. And in that center, I rediscovered my strength. I didn't need anything external. Just something that had always been with me: the air. The prana. The life force that connects you to the universe. This is the foundation of true spirituality, self-mastery. And with it comes true prosperity. And now comes one of the most sensory practices there is: warming your hands with energy visualization. Rub one palm against the other until you feel heat. Then, slowly pull your hands apart, as if you're holding an invisible ball between them. Close your eyes. Imagine that ball expanding and contracting. Feel the energy field between your hands. It's real. The more you practice, the stronger this sensation becomes. This energy you're feeling is your vital vibration. It's what connects you to abundance, to evolution, to your higher self. And it all starts right there, between your hands. These practices don't require blind faith or years of study. They only require a bit of curiosity and commitment. The beauty here is that the results are almost immediate. It's like hitting the restart button on your soul. People who've never meditated are surprised at how quickly they start feeling better. The lightness in their bodies. The clarity that emerges in their minds. And it all starts with small choices. Little daily rituals. Because when you change the internal, the external changes too. And that's the true beginning of the conscious spiritual journey. When a person realizes they can feel their own energy, everything changes. It's like a whole new universe opens up right there, in your room, in your silence. You realize you no longer have to wait for miracles, because you are the miracle. And the most beautiful thing is realizing that, by mastering these simple practices, you begin to understand that your emotions carry energy too. Emotions are like waves, they can drown you or carry you far. But that's a topic for our next step. Few realize, but every emotion is an energetic instruction sent to the universe. It's not just feeling, it's coding reality with what you vibrate. And if there's something I've learned from practice, from Neville Goddard's teachings, and from the collapse of my own illusions, it's that to feel is to create. Simple as that. Your emotion is the invisible mold that shapes matter. If you vibrate scarcity, scarcity shows up. If you vibrate abundance, life conspires in your favor. This isn't cheap esotericism, it's pure energetic mechanics. And it responds to your vibrational field, not what you say out loud. It's like looking into a mirror that doesn't judge, it just reflects. And that mirror is exact, relentless. You can try to look good on the outside, but if inside there's fear, anger, or despair, that's what you feed energetically. It was tough to realize this in my own skin. For a long time, I tried to maintain a positive pose while inside I was crying out for help. The result? A confused reality, full of ups and downs. Only when I faced my emotions head-on, without drama, without denial, did the game change. And that's when my true expansion of consciousness began. Controlling emotions isn't about repressing them, it's about feeling with presence. It's having enough spiritual intelligence to notice when anger arises, and choosing not to act on impulse. It's knowing that every emotion is a messenger, and ignoring it is like closing your eyes to your soul's GPS. Want a practical example? The next time you feel anxiety, don't run away. Sit down. Breathe. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to show me? That's evolution. It's no longer being a victim to your emotions but learning to use them as guides. Because yes, even pain can lead you to a place of growth. And this is where personal responsibility comes in, that little word many avoid, but which changes everything. Because when you understand that you are the source of your vibration, you stop blaming the world. Nothing external has more power than your energetic field. And it responds to what you feel, not what you pretend. It was this understanding that pulled me out of stagnation. I began to observe my emotional state as if I were watching the weather. And I realized that, if I wanted sunshine outside, I had to stop the rain inside. The spiritual energy you carry is directly tied to the emotions you most feed. Recurring emotions become permanent energy fields. That's why living in a chronic state of fear or guilt creates energetic blockages, the infamous "nothing's moving in my life" feeling. It's not moving because it's not flowing. The vibration has been trapped in dense emotional patterns. And breaking those patterns requires choice. It requires courage. It requires awareness. But when you decide to change, the universe changes with you. It's as if it says, I was just waiting for you to remember your divine spark. One analogy I always use is that of the conductor. Imagine your emotions are the instruments. If you don't know how to conduct them, it all sounds like noise. But when you take control, you create symphonies. And this applies to everything: relationships, money, health, spirituality. Want to manifest prosperity? Then start vibrating gratitude. Want to live with more abundance? Cultivate joy, even in the small things. Elevated emotions are keys that open invisible doors. Doors that only reveal themselves to those who feel before they see. That's what Neville Goddard called assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel now what you want to live tomorrow. And the more you practice, the faster this process becomes. But there's a secret that few tell you: emotion only sustains itself with focus. Clear intention. A trained mind. Because without that, energy dissipates. And here, we enter another fascinating territory: the power of concentration. All conscious creation begins with a spark, intention. But not just any vague intention. I'm talking about the kind that comes from the center of your chest, loaded with purpose, like an arrow shot with clarity. Artists, magicians, visionaries, they all mastered this principle. It's no coincidence. They knew that spiritual energy needs direction to make an impact. Without intention, vibration disperses. It's like shooting a beam of light without focus: it illuminates little. But with focus, it becomes a laser, capable of cutting steel and rewriting entire realities. When you align with a true intention, one that resonates with your higher self, the universe begins to conspire. And not because of magic, but through energetic resonance. You become a magnetic point. The expansion of consciousness happens because, in that moment, you're not just asking for something, you're becoming what you wish to manifest. I experienced this myself when I stopped saying I want more prosperity and started vibrating as a prosperous person, with presence, conviction, and surrender. Result? Life responded to the new frequency. But here's the detail that trips many people up: intention without concentration is like planting a seed and never watering it. It's not enough to wish. You must sustain the desire with focus. And focus is not rigidity, it's practice. A scattered mind doesn't create, it only reacts. That's why great occultists spoke of the mind as a blade, sharp, silent, and firm. To concentrate is a spiritual act. It's sitting with yourself and choosing, with firmness, where you'll place your energy. That's evolution. That's taking the reins of the invisible. A good exercise is simple, but powerful. Choose a single thought. It could be an affirmation like, "I am the divine spark manifesting abundance." Sit in silence for 5 minutes and keep your attention solely on that. The mind will wander, that's okay. Gently bring it back. That's the practice. Little by little, you'll notice you can hold elevated thoughts for longer. And this changes your vibration, your field, your magnetism. That's how you build inner mastery. Most people create nothing because their energy is fractured. A piece goes to worry, another to the past, another to the phone. So, what's left to create something new? Nothing. Focus is the filter that separates noise from truth. When you learn to concentrate your energy in one direction, it grows. It's spiritual law, it's vibration. Neville Goddard said, "You become what you behold." And to behold, here, is to keep your awareness fixed on a clear, felt, and alive image, until it materializes at the right time. Think of your intention as a sculpture. The raw material is your energy. The tool is your concentration. And the result, well, the result is the reality you live. I've seen people transform their health, money, and relationships simply by changing the quality of attention they gave their intentions. Intention becomes the bridge between desire and manifestation. And the more practiced the mind, the shorter the path. It's almost as if reality begins to respond immediately. But for that, you need to stop distracting yourself. And here's a profound insight: true concentration doesn't require effort, it requires surrender. It's the opposite of tension. It's that state where body and mind align naturally with spiritual energy. Like when you meditate, paint, or write with fluidity. And it's in this state of full concentration that energetic techniques gain real power. Including an ancient practice, used for millennia to purify subtle channels and align intention with vital flow. Some practices seem too simple for the impact they have. And this is one of them. Nadi Shodhana, also known as alternate nostril breathing, is much more than a breathing technique, it's a ritual of energetic purification. By balancing the subtle energy channels, the nadis, this practice allows prana, the vital energy, to flow freely through the body. And when prana flows, everything realigns: emotions, thoughts, intuition, connection with the higher self. It's like stepping out of the noise of the world and tuning straight into the frequency of your divine spark. You don't need to be mystical to feel the effects. Just 3 minutes of alternate breathing and you'll notice, the mind calms, the body relaxes, and energy reorganizes. It's like wiping a clean cloth on your soul. During stressful moments, for example, this practice acts as a reset button. I myself use it before important meetings, tough decisions, or creative moments. And I'm always amazed by the clarity that comes afterward. Nadi Shodhana is, indeed, an instrument of harmonization between opposites, masculine and feminine, doing and being, thinking and feeling. The process is simple, but it requires presence. Sit comfortably. With your right thumb, close your right nostril and inhale through the left. Then, with your ring finger, close the left and exhale through the right. Inhale through the same nostril and repeat the cycle. Do this for 3 to 5 minutes. The secret is in consistency. It's not a marathon, it's a rhythm. A gentle dance with your own spiritual energy. Over time, you'll notice your vibration shifting. And with it, the quality of your reality changes. This practice also carries powerful mystical symbolism. Alternate breathing represents the balance between two great energy channels, Ida and Pingala. Ida is lunar, feminine, intuitive. Pingala is solar, masculine, rational. When these two are in harmony, the central channel, Sushumna, opens. And through this channel flows true spiritual power. The same energy that great masters accessed in their states of expanded consciousness. And the best part? You can start right now, wherever you are. No incense, no music, no effort. By incorporating this practice into your routine, you're not just breathing, you're recalibrating your entire energy field. You're clearing invisible noise that blocks the manifestation of abundance. You're creating inner space for the new to arrive. As Neville Goddard said, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And Nadi Shodhana helps you be the one who vibrates in balance, presence, and the right frequency to co-create with clarity and flow. That's prosperity in its subtlest form. And you know what's most beautiful about all this? You don't need any external tools. Just your body, your attention, and your breath. It's the perfect practice for anyone on a spiritual journey who wants to strengthen their inner connection. In fact, many report profound insights after weeks of practice. Ideas that come out of nowhere, emotions that heal on their own, synchronicities multiplying. Don't be surprised if that happens to you. It's just energy responding to your new vibration. And if you've been practicing everything so far, feeling energy in your hands, managing emotions, cultivating intention and concentration, this practice closes the cycle with a gold key. Or better yet, it opens the doors to the next level. Because once you understand the power of a well-executed breath, you begin to ask, what else in my body and life can I control? Now tell me, after all this, are you still going to keep giving your energy to chance? Or is it finally time to take control of what you feel, think, and vibrate? Because, look, what you've learned here today is no small thing. It's the kind of knowledge that changes how you see yourself, and with that, changes everything around you. But knowing alone doesn't transform. The power lies in practice. So I ask you, when was the last time you truly stopped to feel your own energy? To breathe with presence, to look within, to align intention with action? And more, how would your life look today if you'd started this earlier? How many more years are you going to wait to wake up? To reconnect with your divine spark? To live with more balance, abundance, and purpose? Because, if you've made it this far, it wasn't by chance. There's something inside you, maybe forgotten, maybe asleep, asking to wake up. And this video could be the first step. Or just another piece of content you watch and forget. The choice is yours. But if you felt that call, then apply it. Try it. Breathe differently. Feel your vibration. And then tell me what changed. Because it will change. I guarantee you that. And of course, if this made sense to you, if something inside you is awakened, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay tuned. A lot of deep things are coming, and your spiritual journey is just beginning.